Hello everyone, dear parents and my dear students. I Neeta Patel on behalf of B.S.Memorial School welcome you all in today's webinar that is on briefing on NEP 2020. So let's begin. The era of the 34-year-old National Education Policy came to an end. The new National Education Policy was passed by the Union Government on 29th July 2020 on Wednesday. A lot of academicians and educational institutes came out and spoke about the policy in detail. But as a parent, you need to understand what concerns you the most is the impact that the new NEP has on your child's future and success. Now, some of the questions that are going on in your mind might include: does my child have to shift his or her focus? How should he or she prepare for college entrance exams now? What do his or her future prospects look like? Does the new NEP increase competition? Don't worry, we will help you understand how your child can be guaranteed of his or her success under the new NEP. The National Education Policy of 1986 that India followed until now was passed in 1986, which was later revised in 1992. This NEP was rigid and too much focus was laid on marks and examinations. However, over the last few years, we have seen the saturation that is taking place when it comes to students scoring 90% and above. So while the world is focusing on skill building and research-based learning, we were a step behind and our children were stuck with textbooks. Students weren't given a choice to choose their subjects except for in a very few multidisciplinary universities established recently. All of this way eventually affecting the employability of students, which also included the students who passed out with flying colors. The new education policy 2020, India will have the highest population of young people in the world over the next decade, and our ability to provide high quality educational opportunities to them will determine the future of our country. So the NEP 2020 is the first ever education policy to be drafted in the 21st century. It has been drafted keeping the need and demand of the future generations to come. It has been claimed to be one of the most forward-thinking and path-breaking educational policies so far, calling for changes in almost all aspects of education. The National Education Policy 2020 lays particular emphasis on the development of the creative potential of each individual. It is based on the principle that education must develop not only cognitive capacities, both the foundational capacities of literacy and numeracy and higher order cognitive capacities such as critical thinking and problem solving, but also social, ethical and emotional capacities and dispositions. Now, I would like to discuss 6 main takeaways from the new NEP and what it means for your child. So, the very first point is new schooling structure. The school structure, which has been 10+2 since many decades, has come to an end. It has been divided further to lay a special focus on early child development and to emphasize on different skills needed at different stages in a student's schooling. 5+3+3+4 is the new schooling structure corresponding to the ages 3 to 8, 8 to 11, 11 to 14 and 14 to 18 years respectively. This structure is based on taking cognizance of a child's developmental journey during their formative years as well as trying to ensure that critical characteristics like knowledge seeking, logical thinking, social skills like communication, teamwork, etc. are imbibed. So this means this new pedagogical structure brings government and private schools under the same gambit. It focuses on different aspects of education at different stages of your child's education to develop them holistically. Number 2 is more focus on skill building and less focus on marks. So the new NEP laid an extreme focus on moving away from rote learning and memorizing theory to score marks during exams. Now it wants to shift focus towards skill building, self-discovery, experiential learning, etc. so that students keep up with global learning standards. Board exams won't be held in high regard like they have been for years now. Board exams will be made easier as they will primarily test core capacities, competencies rather than months of coaching or memorization. The progress card will now be designed to reflect 360-degree assessment of a student. A multi-dimensional report card will be generated that will reflect in great detail the progress and uniqueness of each learner in the cognitive, affective and psychomotor domains. The progress card will include self-assessment, peer assessment and teacher assessment. In addition, a new system of self, peer and teacher assessment will give parents and children a 360-degree progress report imbibed with new skills learned during the academic year. So the approach of I want my child to score 95% to get into a good college will change drastically. Your child will be scored on wholesome development in multiple domains. Not just that, colleges which are already moving away from marks-based selection will further move away from it, focusing on all-round development and balancing between academics and non-academics will be the mantra for success for your child. Point number 3. Flexibility in subject choice. The new education policy aims to give students increased flexibility and choice of subjects to study across the arts, humanities, science, sports and vocational subjects. Every student will have freedom to choose one vocational subject between grade 6 to 8. They will also have to intern with a local vocational establishment after that. Students will now be able to choose subjects like history and physics at the same time in class 11th and 12th. The elimination of rigid streams in secondary education will ensure that no career option is restricted to students due to subject specialization. This flexibility in choosing subjects means that your child is not stuck with one rigid subject. Thinking from the perspective of college, who will be granting admissions, they are aware that your child has the freedom to choose. So, they will lay special focus on checking since when is your child passionate about a certain subject and what they did in school to work on this passion. This means that they should set their goals early on to establish their passion, dedication and deep interest in a certain subject. Point number 4. One body for higher education. So, say bye-bye to UGC, AICTE and NCTE. The new NEP brings the entire higher education under one umbrella. The Higher Education Commission of India, that is HECI, will be a single body overseeing the entire higher education system except for medical and legal education. The National Testing Agency, NTA, will conduct entrance examinations for admissions to universities across the country. It already is responsible for conducting exams like JEE Main, NEET, UGC, NET and others. NEP is envisaging a single regulator, the Higher Education Council of India, that is HECI. The council will function as the common single regulator for the higher education sector, including teacher education. This will go a long way in evaluating and revisiting the learning outcome in higher education. Besides, the presence of a single regulator will remove uncertainties in educational policies. So having a single body overseeing all of higher education and organizing exams for colleges means admission processes are going to get much more structured and holistic. Having exposure to the right kind of activities will be a crucial role in your child's success. Point number 5. Top 100 global universities will come to India. The new NEP states that the top 100 global universities will be allowed to set up campuses in India, opening doors to global education in the country. This might be in the form of new campuses, partnerships with universities in India, etc. Off the bat, this is great news for your child. He or she will have a lot more opportunities to choose from, but it also means a lot of added competition. Students who intended on going abroad might also stay back and apply for these colleges. These global colleges believe in a holistic approach for admission and hence is crucial to have a mix of academic scores and a strong non-academic profile to crack the admissions. So point number 6. 4-year degree and blurring lines between arts and science. The new NEP makes undergraduate degree 4-year courses with multiple entry and exit points. Under the 4-year program, students can exit with a certificate after 1 year, diploma after 2 years, a bachelor's degree after 3 years and bachelor's with research after 4 years. This multiple entry and exit will be based on the academic credits. The NEP aims at making all universities multidisciplinary universities, just like it is in the West. This will provide students a chance to choose different subjects and gives me more flexibility in the field of their interest. The thrust on multidisciplinary education, which would include more humanities and social science subjects at the IITs, would strengthen the holistic academic needs of new generation. This flexibility will allow your child to follow his or her passion without any rigid rules. Making all universities multidisciplinary also means that top colleges like all IITs will open up to humanities and social sciences. This will give your child a chance to pursue any subject of their choice in renowned colleges. So how can your child succeed in this new world? One clear takeaway from the new NEP is that marks won't matter as much as they did so far. So, for your child to succeed and get admission in a top college, he or she should focus on building a strong non-academic profile and showcase deep interest in the subject of interest. Your child can follow the below steps to ace the new NEP. Get clarity on what your goal is early and decide which career you want to pursue. Understand the requirement of the college you want to apply and prepare accordingly. Most students ignore this and work on qualities that are not aligned with their dream college. Make a plan of action and invest in activities that will take you closer to your dream college. Balance between academics and non-academics is key to achieving the best possible result. A roadmap should be made to help you achieve that balance. To do this seamlessly, your child will need expert help. So conclusion is, the new NEP has taken everyone by surprise. So this is something that parents and students were not prepared for. But to make sure that your child's success is not hampered by the new NEP, you need your child to take stock of things, realign priorities, set new goals, and make a plan that works. All of it might sound overwhelming, but taking expert help will make it a piece of cake. As all the good things come to an end in life, so is the webinar. On behalf of B.S.Memorial School, I take this opportunity to propose word of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this webinar on briefing on NEP 2020 organized by our school. Our heartfelt thanks to our students, teachers and parents for their active participation. With these warm words, we move to the end of today's webinar. Thank you.